Warning, the following stunts are done by trained professionals. Actually, we're not trained. Robbie is just a dumbass and decided to do a drunken fantasy football podcast. The thoughts, opinions, and takes are ours and ours only. It is not our fault if you lose in fantasy football or sports gambling. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hey, what is good, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the one and only Rumboyz Fantasy Network. Make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe. Turn this Fack into a silver play button. We greatly appreciate you. Share the content on all of your social media platforms. We greatly, greatly love and appreciate every single one of you. Welcome to the show. Yo, you already know, man. Rocking the GLD. I got my Dodgers chain on. I got the Dodgers Jackie on. You know, we hit them with a little throwback. Yo, speaking of GLD, shop GLD. Link is in the description. You already know what it be. You can also DM me and I'll hit you with the link personally. Yo, take them to the yacht. Show them the other products that we got.
I bought in Miami with no land. I got no understanding. Out of here, I'm burning. Don't turn me on. You can't understand it. In the club, posted up, they lit up no matter where I'm standing. GLD for the Cuban link, yeah, you see it there. Might spaz out on some taller shit. No on zero tolerance. Money conversations ain't hard to relate. It's hollering. See my net, they acknowledge it. Go bring her where you're not.
Also, please remember to get your tickets for this year's Fantasy Football Expo. Come and party with the Rumboyz live and in person. FantasyFootballExpo.com. That's right, the FFExpo.com. It's going to be litty. Come play against me in some cornhole. See me on the flag football field. Also, catch me over at the Big Guy Fantasy Sports booth, holding it down with the homie Bob Lung. Greatly, greatly appreciate you. Also, we got a show for you guys tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure that you guys, like I said earlier, like, comment, subscribe, share the content. We're going to get into the cast and the crew. So without further ado, first up, drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot. Drop the mic, FF.
What is up? I'm just going to make it short and sweet. Let's get this damn party started tonight. Let's go.
Let's go. Let's run it up. Let's run up a bag. Let's run up a fucking bag. Yo, get them donos ready, y'all. Get them donos ready, chat. Let's go. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, next up, representing TBQ Sports, give it up for David Gillespie.
People, how we doing?
He said it right on the first try.
Because last time I was on here, you just said TBQ, like I was, like it stood for something else, like it was a knockoff of TMZ or some shit, So I'm proud he's like gotten the complete title. Like this is Robbie's impressed me over the last couple weeks. I gotta say,
Yeah.
I'll drop it. At least someone's impressed with my work. All right. Well, tune in. Woo! Ladies and gentlemen, next up, representing Minnesota and his Vikings, give it up for the notorious nerd.
Skull bikes, let's go.
Let's go.
Save that for like 5 minutes, okay? Save that.
Is that a Vikings GLD? Yeah. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. My dog.
Get yours at the link.
Let's go. Ladies and gentlemen, last but certainly not least, your favorite hill, TDS Taco.
The ghost of Juan Soto's forearm will show up on deck soon. Let's go, Yankees!
Bloody hell, mate. Bloody hell. Hey, Soto got me money recently, so I can't complain. Wow, Matt coming in here with damn this energy here. F the Dodgers, Robbie. Go Yankees.
Hey, that is uncalled for. Go blue.
Go blue all day.
Go blue.
Checking with my boys live.
I love the beard.
Yes. Hey, big ups from the land down under. The homie Daniel. If the Dodgers, one thing I can agree with Matt about. My gosh, what's good, Justin?
That's because Jacksonville doesn't have a team.
He said, "What up, boys? What's good? Jeff, epic green screen. Gosh, to David for sure. David on here with the King John.
Let's
Lindsay.
go.
I'm just out here pushing happiness. That's all I'm trying to do, you know?
Oh my
Yes.
gosh.
Just happens to be from a ruthless fucking, you know,
he's pushing
and
litter
all
bombs.
out-
dictator, you know?
While he's pushing litter bombs on the South Korea.
There's probably a dude.
Well,
Like there's oh, sorry.
I
Go
don't
ahead, Taco.
know. No, go
I'm
for it.
totally
No, go
interrupting you. I was just gonna say there probably is a dude. I'm gonna be real. Like this is probably a cropped photo, and there's some dude getting like the Daniel Craig from Casino Royale treatment, where he's just getting whipped in the balls, like on the right side of the picture. I totally know it. You know, like there's something. There's more than what meets the eye to this photo. You know.
Duh.
God damn it.
Oh no, hi. Let's go.
Bobby, he's a Giants fan, I think.
Hey, money's
No.
money. So you want to
What is
donate?
your-
All right.
No,
Fuck
it's
this.
And CR did it right as we struck him out, baby.
CR,
Struck out Will Smith.
CR, I can't remember who your football team or baseball team is. Your football team's the Niners.
Oh yeah, we did.
Yeah.
USC be fucking cleaned up, baby.
Hey,
Hey,
who
yes,
called
yes.
the fourth round? Who called the fourth round sub, baby?
Yeah,
Whoa.
competition. Like, yo, we killed it on UFC picks last week. We killed it on UFC picks last week.
I mean, perfection. We called the contest, the 5-round fight with Strickland, and we called that Dustin, I'm not so nice, Poirier went down. But I'm not gonna lie, his heart that he showed in that fight just made you kind of like root for him.
It was brilliant. I'm hurt. Angels all day, every day. Seayard is an Angels fan.
Hey, CR, I'm already
Hype.
I'm already feeling it. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say on air. I'm already
Feeling it.
Look, let's get into tonight's show. All right. His cat's name is Mike Trout. Yeah, that's crazy. That's an obsession.
I'm surprised he didn't name it Kittle.
The CR doing better than my Stros. Oh my gosh.
Or
Let's
Tim
get into
Salmon.
tonight's show. We begin tonight with our cover athlete, Justin Jefferson, who recently reached an agreement on a 4-year, $140 million contract extension that includes $110 million guaranteed. And it makes him not only the highest paid wide receiver in NFL history, but the highest paid non-QB in NFL history. With an offense that is set to be led by a rookie QB this year, was this the right move to build around a wide receiver? And could Minnesota maybe get a Super Bowl within that window of this 4-year contract extension for Justin Jefferson? Also, let's keep in mind, that's a rookie there at quarterback. Let's also talk about the fantasy ROI that you're expecting out of your Justin Jefferson shares that you may be drafting this year. Mike, take us away.
All right, I'm gonna let the guy after me go on the full-blown NFL route because I know he's not as fantasy forward. So I'll help you out, David, by going the fantasy route mainly.
Luckily, they fucking know that at home.
Some people do, some don't. I'm helping them out.
If you're new to the show,
Hey, shush. Okay. NFL wise, I think we had to do it. I'm gonna leave. I'm just gonna say yes, it had to be done. ROI, I'm not gonna. He's dropping in my ranks a little bit in redraft purely and best ball purely because of the. Do I think it's a long-term plus? Abso-freaking-lutely. Do I think he's going to beat out good old Sammy? Yes. But maybe not game 1, Taco, but by game 3, yes. Here, the point is, I do drop his stock down a little bit in redraft purely because of the issue at
if it's Darnold as a starting QB, I will yeet myself out of this first story window on a live stream.
And I will circle.
Sounds
the
like good content.
Hey, and I'll circle the coffee table at the same time again. I'll circle the wagon again. But
You and your
Dynasty,
love for Sam Darnold. What
hey.
what has he done to you? Like where did Sam Darnold touch you that you fucking love Sam Darnold?
The
so
only
much?
reason I love the whole Sam Darnold thing is because you and Pat hated it so bad that it made it so cool to watch you guys eat the shovel to the face for 3 straight weeks. It made it glorious.
This is fucking terrible. I hated that.
So I have CD Lamb. I have for redraft. I got CD Lamb. Jamar's up there. Otherwise, I'd have J. Jeff at 1. J. Jeff was my number 1 dynasty wide receiver. But you have, if you want to tear down and still get a piece, I'd be willing to do that too. But ROI and redraft, I think he's probably around wide receiver 4 or 5 for this season.
Okay. If his ROI does go down, does Addison's go up? That's going to be interesting. That's going to be depending on how Darnold or McCarthy, for that matter, are able to read coverages. Be able to throw within doubles, because we know that Jefferson's definitely going to be seeing doubles. But it's also tough because like mentioned in the comment on the screen, Addison, TJ Hawkinson, so on and so forth. Aaron Jones in the backfield is going to be able to tote the rock.
I love that pick. I love that pick. That's my favorite.
Yeah, it's so. I mean, this early on to have the conversation whether or not Addison's would be going up. I think that Addison is great as a best ball play. I don't know if we're ready to have the conversation redraft wise yet. I think I want to see more what happens throughout OTAs. David, your take on this subject on the show sheet.
So as Robbie and Mike alluded to, because I'm mentally challenged when it comes to breaking down fantasy football, I'm going to come
not what I said.
NFL.
It was a
say that and
you're like, guys, let's cut him some slack. Let's give him a little bit of time. Let's let him get him. Let's let him
this guy
everybody scoot in. Everybody scoot in.
There was a fantasy aspect and a real football aspect. I figured I would let you have the first crack at the real football.
Make sure to clap when he's done, so he knows. It's like, all right, fuck, man.
Go ahead.
No, but anyways, I think this is what they had to do. This is what they should have done. And I'm all for it. If I were the Vikings. Now, I'm not as optimistic about the Vikings this year, and I'm not hating on them just because they're in the same division as them, as my Bears, and I wish them nothing but absolute fucking horror for this upcoming season. But I'm really curious about throwing JJ McCarthy just because of the fact that they trade up and things like that, when there's so many other pressing needs that they probably should have addressed. With trading up to get him and trading up to get Dallas Turner too. I'm not as optimistic about the Vikings and feeling like JJ McCarthy's ready to go right from the get-go. But I will say he's got a hell of a wide receiver, a hell of a security blanket to lean on, because Justin Jefferson is arguably the best receiver in the game. And I think he illustrated that this past season when he played like 5 games without Kirk Cousins, and he still was averaging 100 yards per game receiving.
Right.
This is a guy who's been on the upward trend every year he's been in the league when it comes to yards per game average. Every year it's gone up since he's been in the league since 2020. So with him being the best receiver in the league, and in my opinion, Mr. Intermediate, meaning he's unequivocally by a hefty margin the best intermediate receiver in the league. No one comes close. Yeah. I don't give a shit who you name drop. No one comes close in the intermediate game to Justin Jefferson. What he does in the middle of the field when it comes to in routes, out routes, comeback routes, anything of that nature. I think this is what you have to do because he is such an elite guy. You don't let an elite guy walk. You find a way to get it done no matter what the case is, Yeah. You can't afford to find this kind of talent. And I know some people are thinking, well, David, the last couple of years, we found receivers that are balling out right from the fucking get-go. No, that's not always the case. This is just a wave we're riding right now where guys are awesome right from the get-go, like a Justin Jefferson, like a Jamar Chase, like a Puka Nacua. This is just it's a simple wave. There's going to come a time where we're going to be really depleted in NFL-ready talent right from the get-go coming out of the wide receiver position, It's going to take some time for guys to live up to the hype. They're going to be more so projects than some of these guys that I just listed earlier. Justin Jefferson, he's not slowing down anytime soon. He's 25, I believe, right now. He's going on 25. I think he's turning 25 June 16th, if memory serves me correctly.
Gemini season.
Yeah. So you can't afford to let this guy go. He's a security blanket. He talked about wanting to be a leader and a guy to lean on for JJ McCarthy. Of course, this was a given, you know. So I'm happy for it. I know it's a lot of money, but you need to you need to value what you have and showcase that value by paying him the money he deserves, and that's what they did.
Okay. Before we get into nerd steak, you don't think that maybe like, and I kind of worded it in a way intentionally. You don't think that this is like an NBA team building around like a forward? It's like, well, you would build around like the point guard or like your center, or typically speaking, like
LeBron James was a forward.
I think some people have said like, in my opinion, I think you always start with a quarterback. I get that. I wish the Vikings would have maybe went a different route than going after a JJ McCarthy, even though I like JJ McCarthy.
No.
I just think he's a bit of a project, but there's certain other positions that I think you don't want to address too early, because I think there can be a bit of a dime of a dozen, like offensive line and stuff like that. Like, I think we overrate the value of finding offensive linemen in the first round when you can find them later on and they can be absolute studs.
Yeah.
There's a million examples of that. A million, So, no, I understand kind of where they're coming from. I just think there were a couple of reaches that make me hesitant about them being so good right from the get-go with JJ McCarthy. I think it's going to take some time. He's a bit of a project compared to other quarterbacks for him to thrive, even with guys like Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison. There will be some growing pains next year, and I don't think Jefferson's going to reach career highs this upcoming season. I think he'll have a good year, though.
I disagree on the JJ being a project, but all right. Like, nerd, you're up. Also, is Darnold basically the lock to start in Minnesota over JJ?
I think it's competition. I'm just going to get right down to the point of it. Like, I think the media is saying a lot that, okay, it's going to be Sam Darnold. He's going to develop Here's the thing. Like, I'm not against that. And here's why I'm not against it is because Sam Darnold, you look at his third overall, drafted the Jets. Terrible team. Gets traded to Carolina. Terrible team again. Like, there was nothing there, both teams. And then he just got beat out for the starter spot and a couple of other teams. Like, Sam Darnold is young. So when people were saying when it was between JJ and Sam Darnold, like, you're talking about, like, if you're going to say this is a great landing spot for JJ McCarthy to be able to sling the rock to all these weapons that Minnesota has at tight end and wide receiver and now running back with Aaron Jones, like, it's the same exact thing for Sam Darnold. He's not old. He's 27.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah.
He's 20. He's a 27-year-old that catches mono and sees ghosts. Let's keep that in mind.
Yes, and I hope that doesn't happen again. But
we'll tell him to stay out of the fucking strip clubs, and we won't have to worry about him catching goddamn mono.
So I'm not one of the naysayers that there are in our fan base that are like, oh my God, why did we get Sam Darnold? Well, you can't have no one, right? And if you have Kevin O'Connell, look what he did with the carousel quarterbacks he had last year, and now he has more time in the offseason to work with him. I'm just saying it's a great spot. So getting towards Justin Jefferson right now, though, this needed to happen. You can't let this guy walk. He is, and you guys know I don't say this term hardly ever. Justin Jefferson is a generational talent.
Absolutely.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Like,
oh, yeah.
That's why when people are like, oh, Caleb Williams is generational talent, like, I don't like that word thrown out like so often and so quick. And Caleb Williams is just the first one because that's been the most popular one that is being said right now. Mm-hmm. I don't agree with David on JJ being a project. I think he's won at every level that he's gone to. He's in a great landing spot, and I do think it's a very fair competition. I've been keeping up with the practices and the OTAs and all that stuff with mini camps, and it's just he's dropping dimes. Like his accuracy is great. Yes, he's with like not with the first string guys yet, but like what you're seeing from him and how he's handling each play, now that they're actually having coverage on those plays, it makes me very comfortable knowing that this kid could be thrown to Justin Jefferson. And I think that if he has that security blanket, it's great. Like, you want Justin Jefferson around, and not just how talented he is, it's his attitude that he gives to the team. He has said that he wants to be in Minnesota. He loves Kevin O'Connell. He wants to be in this offense. He's proud of it, and they just wanted to get the right deal made. I love how he handled the deal. He just stayed out of it. He just let his agent handle it. Mm-hmm. And he wasn't like, give me all the money, because the Vikings still have great cap space going into the next 4 years, especially after this season. Daniil's and Kirk's cap hit are dead. They go away. I truly believe that this has been a long-term goal when they said like a competitive rebuild when the new ownership came in and the new head coach came in, when they said we're going to be in a competitive rebuild. I truly believe that because they had Kirk Cousins, and this is not a contract that these guys picked up, and that this isn't a guy that they wanted. Like they did year to year with him.
Cousins.
Right. They were like, like we want you here to develop somebody, but we're going to draft. But like, if you don't want to be here, then you can go. Like this is the first time the Vikings
still ended up in that same situation in Atlanta.
I love it. That's my favorite thing about it. I just think it's a great spot for the Vikings to be, and I do think there is a realistic possibility that if this does pan out, this does put them in a possible Super Bowl window. Like they need. The pieces need
Super Bowl window that you lose. Is it another Super Bowl window that you lose?
I hope not. And here's the thing. Here's the honest thing that I honestly believe, and when I say I hope not,
that was mean.
In the last 7 years as a Vikings fan, maybe longer, when Kirk was around, I love football and I was always excited for the season, right? Like, but when we had Kirk, I was always kind of like, it'd be cool if we won it, but I just don't think
you knew that Kirk wasn't going to get you there.
Like, I just don't think we're going to get there, and like, it sucked because of that. But this is the first time, you guys, in like 10 years for me as a Vikings fan, with how well I feel like this offseason has truly gone, from the draft process to getting the UDFAs to like clearing out all the old shitty contracts the Vikings had from former ownership. Now this is the first time they can build their team. Like, because most times when new ownership and head coaches come in, you get your quarterback right away. We were stuck with Kirk Cousins. We didn't get the luxury to go pick somebody. And Kwesi even talked about to the media that he has been eyeballing this draft class for the last 2 years, knowing that Kirk might leave. And I love that. So I think this is a great situation to be in. It needed to happen. And I do honestly think that J.J. McCarthy has a very fair shot at starting. And if J.J. McCarthy does start, I think
J.J. McCarthy starts, then this is where, because I do want to get into Taco's take as well. This is where I do kind of disagree here with Daniel, where he says, with all due respect, Vikings aren't competing for the division this season, letting JJ develop and get comfortable in the leap to the NFL from the bench isn't going to be the worst thing. No, it's not the worst thing.
No.
But I'm willing to die on this hill.
Yep.
JJ McCarthy starting makes them competitive.
That's what I'm saying too. Like, everyone's kind of doubting it and sleeping on it, and I love it because that's where I want to be, in the underdog position of the division, where people sleep on it.
I can use that word. Keep going.
Sorry, you know what I mean though.
I know. You're good. I had to let that one cook. I had to let that one.
But the reason why I say it is because everyone's sleeping on him, and it's like, you guys, if this works, this offense just got really dangerous. Like, it got really dangerous. And I'm very excited. The defense is getting better. I don't think the Vikings are out of the division like everyone says they are. And I'm just going to say it right now, and I'm going to piss off a Lions fan. This is my analysis of last season of the North. The Bears were ass.
We were.
But
yeah.
The Lions won the games that they were supposed to win.
Except for when the refs cheated them out of that Dallas game.
I mean, they were very close to beating the –
or, not kicking field goals
as champs,
Or, not kicking field goals to go to the Super Bowl because your coach has his balls in a wheelbarrow. But that's a different story. And then the Packers were finding their identity very early on in the season. And we were like, oh, Jordan loves ass. And all of a sudden he turned it on. And you're like, not so much. That's a young, talented team. And now the Vikings are in the same spot where, like, this could be a young, talented team that kind of comes out of nowhere. So I think the NFC North is going to be very fun to watch with all the young talent and then you guys coming in. And the division is very much in no one's hands right now. And I think the Lions were supposed to do their job and go win the division when it was at its weakest last year. This is not last year.
No.
This is a new season. And I know a lot of people are going to be like, you're crazy for saying that, but it's true.
What I will say is that the North, I feel like, is a lot more open this year than it was last year, just because, you know, you're not knowing what you're expecting out of Minnesota. You're not knowing what you're expecting out of Chicago. The only way that you're going to get the answers to either of these questions is fucking sitting back on Sundays, drinking beer, eating wings, and becoming a shell of yourself during the winter. Like, that's the only way that we're going to get the answers to those questions. Let's get into Taco's take, because it looks like the chat wants us to get into these jerseys really quick. Before we get into your take, Taco, Justin Jefferson in just 4 seasons in Minnesota, 60 games, 30 touchdowns, 5,899 yards, 392 receptions. Jay Jettis put up 1,000 plus receiving yards while only playing 10 games in 2023. Fair to probably say the Vikings locked down the best wide receiver in the league. Your thoughts?
I mean, let's face it. What Jefferson has been able to do over his period of time in the league has been nothing short of phenomenal. Okay, he's had the opportunity and he seized it. And even in situations where you're like, he shouldn't be, oh my God, he did. So with a talent like that, it's hard to bet against him, because you know he could take the worst talent and still be successful, which is what I think the Minnesota Vikings are thinking when they give him this contract. They sit back and say, you make any quarterback better. This is not like a situation where, like, no offense, but in Kansas City, like last year, there was no wide receiver that you could say made a quarterback better. They were all a bunch of guys that Mahomes was able to say, okay, you're open. You're open.
Mahomes,
100%. But Mahomes is a different animal.
Mahomes had to become to make everyone else better.
Exactly. Well, unless you want to count Kelsey, even though he's not a wide receiver. He's just
yeah. Again, Kelsey's also still Kelsey because Mahomes.
Money-wise, tight ends get paid so much differently than wide receivers, and with the blocking and everything else, it's just a little bit different. I feel like,
for sure,
because Justin Jefferson, every single play is lining up out there, whether it's a 1 yard, 3rd and 1 or 2nd and 12, and he's a threat. 3rd and 1, they might just throw a quick little something to Justin Jefferson, get that quick, because he's so good, he's so big, he could jump up, make the catch, he can run a quick little route, he could get free from his defender one-on-one better than anyone else in the league right now. So when you look at that kind of player and you say, do you build back, or do you take, spend all this money on a non-quarterback for a player like Justin Jefferson? Yes, you do.
Yep.
And I say that specifically because when I look at some of the next guys that are coming up, like the one guy that keeps talking that he wants near that same money over in Cincinnati, I'd let him walk. I'm not paying him that money. He's not that good. He's not that worth that money. But when you have a team like this that doesn't have that primetime quarterback, when you see the way that the 49ers develop that team, and maybe they're not paying this guy the absolute minimum on a contract, but for a quarterback, it's probably the best deal you could probably get. And then when you think about it, now you have that money invested in JJ, and you say, okay, JJ and JJ, y'all work together over this next contract. I have the quarterback on the rookie deal, and I'm going to pay the wide receiver essentially quarterback money, and it's going to work out the same thing as if I had an elite quarterback and a semi-good wide receiver. On top of that, you add on 2 elite pieces in Addison and the tight end. I forgot his name.
Good. I don't know if he's right
Hawkinson's pretty elite at the tight end position with his ability to make catches. So you add in Aaron Jones. This team is very much similar to that 49ers team in the weapons that they have all across the field, whether it be a tight end, whether it be a wide receiver. It's not the same at running back, and it's not the same level, but it's the same philosophy. You have a bunch of guys on the field who Addison can ball out and make plays. Jefferson can ball out and make plays. Hawkinson can ball out and make plays. Aaron Jones can ball out and make plays.
It's the NFL. Most teams have guys that go out there.
Not to this level.
I'm not about to say no.
Addison on some teams would be a one.
What we're not doing is sitting here
And comparing.
It's a light. It's a light.
With a team that has a bust of a fucking backup in shovel-face Sam Darnold and a rookie that we haven't gotten to fucking see yet. We're not going to sit here and compare them. We're not going to sit here and compare. They do not have nowhere near the weapons that San Fran has.
Well, hang on a second.
Sorry. Stop. I'm sorry, Mike, but I'm telling you, the God honest truth.
I'm agreeing with you. There's no Minnesota's not close.
Mike. I'm talking about other Mike.
Oh,
nerd Mike.
Well, you were pointing at me. It looked like you were pointing at me.
No.
I'm not saying to that level, but the way they're stacked up,
and
it's a similar build.
The same fucking sentence.
Because the build, the way that the team is set,
they aren't built like that yet. They're not built like that.
Offensively, the amount of weapons and the way that you can schematically play, and then you have the quarterback that used to be the backup on that team come over to your team.
There is.
Wait. You can't compare him as the backup to Frisco. Now that
Aaron Jones has been banged up recently.
Aaron Jones is still pretty elite when he's healthy.
Yeah. No, Aaron Jones, I would say, is a top 5 running back, lower end of top 5, but yes, especially with what he can do in the ground and the receiving.
I'll say top 10. I'm not going to say top 5.
Okay, his last 4 games of the season when he was actually healthy were illustrative of that. Like how he played in the playoffs. You know,
I don't need 4 games.
But he wasn't healthy at the beginning of the year. He was not healthy.
And Jefferson far and away is the best receiver in the game, right?
Let me defend Taco real quick. Can I just say one thing? Okay, Taco is on
the highest paid running back in the fucking league.
Yeah, we got that. We got that. Their weapons are better than the Vikings, no doubt about that. But you could make an argument. Well, we know Jeff is elite. Okay, many would argue T.J. Hawkinson's an elite tight end as well too.
Yes.
And Aaron Jones too. So that's 3 elite guys right there. That's a pretty fucking great.
I'm not gonna put Aaron Jones and elite in the same.
Okay, well, if you disagree, fair enough. I do have one question I want to ask to Mike down below though. Okay.
Yeah.
You said that there's a legitimate battle possibly ensuing between J.J. McCarthy and Sam Darnold.
Yep.
Well, if you're saying that, now JJ's making, throwing dimes in practice, which I don't know if it says that much because I remember all the times they were saying Jay Cutler's killing it in practice.
No, that's true. That's true.
And then he's got 20 fucking interceptions the next game.
Yeah, no, that's true. Yeah.
So there's a little bit of PR going in his favor, potentially. Okay,
I guess.
But if you're going to say that about, JJ McCarthy doing well in practice, which could be a PR stunt, and that there's going to be a battle between Sam Darnold, who's a guy that had struggled with the Jets, with the Panthers.
It's a battle from a PR standpoint. There is no real battle here.
No, but and then last year with the 49ers, the one game he came in fucking garbage time against the Ravens, he looked like absolute ass. How can you hype up J.J. McCarthy as being a legitimate guy right from the get-go, or he could be a legitimate guy from the get-go with all those things taken into account?
It's almost unfair to expect him to come out
That's my question.
One to be the starter in the NFL right now.
The reason why
that's the NFL that we're in the NFL where these rookies are coming in and getting drafted to play. They're not getting
they're busting at a higher rate than they hit.
We just said he's battling with Sam Darnold. Darnold of all people.
Y'all said that he's battling. I said that the whole it's going to be a back and forth. That shit is just coach speak. That's just press conference speak. In my eyes, I don't think that there is a quarterback competition here at all. At all.
My thought on it being a battle is that J.J. McCarthy has known how to win. Mm-hmm. And here's the thing is everyone wants, and I'm not everyone. This is where I'm at. I'm a very realistic Vikings fan. I'm not a guy that's like, we're going to go do it this year and next year and next year.
Praise Dale.
Me too. Dude, I'm like the worst critic of my
Here's where I am. I always, when we're recording the podcast, it's like one of those things where you just say like, last week sucked. Like you're just honest about it. But so with JJ McCarthy, for me, it's like his ceiling is here, his floor is down here. We just don't know. But I don't think he's a project in the matter of though he's a leader of men. Like this dude has came in,
he's a leader, yeah.
And the offensive line on the first string has loved him. The players on the first string have loved him. And they're like, he is going to be a leader. And everyone's like, I want that flashy quarterback that's going to just make crazy plays all the time. It's going to be nuts. Like, I'm not asking for that from JJ McCarthy. If he does start early in the season, what I want is to win games by him taking care of the ball, taking good shots, and getting his reps down of getting the long play every once in a while. But if it is a matter of him being, if it is a matter of him managing the game, getting down the field, scoring the touchdown, or like using his legs to get out of danger and get out of bounds, like if it's not flashy and you're still winning games and you get into the playoffs, I'm fine with it. That's great.
I promise you're going to absolutely love what you're going to get out of JJ McCarthy.
This is the guy. You guys know this is the guy I wanted. The whole draft. This is the guy I wanted. I didn't want anyone else.
Let's keep things moving really quick. I do want to play a quick game of drip or drown. It is so important that whenever you step onto a football field, that you look good when you do it. We once saw a full whiteout version of jerseys with Cincinnati years ago. And I think that for the most part, everyone on this show said that this might have been the sexiest jersey that ever dropped. I think we have a contender.
I know.
The Winter Warrior edition of the Vikings jerseys have dropped.
Yeah.
What are our thoughts? Drip or drown, Taco?
It looks like they just took the idea from the the Bengals, and they just brought it over here to Minnesota, which is kind of like,
I think this one's cold.
y'all can't copy them. Like, y'all gotta come with some little like.
I think this is colder.
I mean, I'm not saying it's an ugly jersey because it's a dope jersey. Like, I don't like those Giants things that they released. Oh my god, those are ugly.
those are different. We already said those are supposed to look old.
I like the Giants.
I get that. I just don't like it. I think it looks ugly. You could look old and look hot. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. That exists. I just this is not bad. I just wish that they would have came out with a different style, but the Winter Warrior thing is like kind of like cheesy as fuck though.
I love this comment right here. I love this comment. Yes. This was the one that pissed everyone off.
That's
because if they were playing more snow games, and if you're gonna play on the whole like Winter Warrior thing, and you're gonna do the whole like Vikings.
If you played in Lambeau, like
Chicago.
Oh my gosh, that'd be so sexy.
They play in Lambeau. They're wearing them. They're wearing these against Chicago,
but at home, right?
I'd have to double check. I think it's at home.
I would expect them to debut that at home. Yeah, I would expect.
Yeah,
I mean, although if you put that as like a road jersey for when you go out and play people in the snow, that'd be kind of dope. Pull out my Winter Warrior jersey when we in the snow. That's a dope little storyline.
That's what, and I think that's what it should have been. I think that's where from a marketing standpoint, the major miss is here. This is a cold jersey. This is fire. Mike, you better get yourself one. Nerd, you better.
All it is like a line across it.
So one of the last jerseys I got was, it was the one I'm wearing is the purple on purple Justin Jefferson. I have a person that I buy jerseys from. She's fantastic. And there was one I was looking at before this, and it was a McCarthy jersey. I'm a believer. I'm gonna get one. And then this came out, dude. Like, I was like, because here's the thing, like, there's not many other players right now on the top of my list that I want to go get a jersey of, right? Like, I got my dude Harrison Smith he's my favorite player that they've drafted since I was in high school. And I'm glad he came back for a 13th season. I got number 22. I got 18. Like, I got the guys that I love the most on the team that I think are the most team guys. I never got a Kirk Cousins, never planned on it, didn't ever want it. Like,
gotta get a JJ though. Gotta get a JJ. Gotta get a McCarthy.
I thought about maybe even getting a Hawkinson in this. I thought about it. But yeah, I'm torn. Like, there's a couple players I like. I got to get this one though. This one's getting purchased.
Get a Christian Darrisaw.
This is a drip for me. This thing's sweet, dude. Like, I've been asking for a purple and white horn on the helmet for like 5 years. And if I didn't get that, I wanted the black uniforms with the purple helmet. So that was where I was.
like this way better than the all than the all black.
Now that would have been cold. Black with the purple and like white outlining, piping and shit around it.
I saw a concept art of it, and I was like, dude, I buy that.
And then you could do like the yellow, purple.
Hey, I like this comment. Yeah, they do. It gives me White Walkers vibes. From
that's
like,
true.
That's what I was thinking of when I heard Winter Warrior. You know, I was like, that's a Game of Thrones reference or some shit, right?
Yeah.
Well, they do have a ice, like it looks like the Game of Thrones shirt in the back on the pictures too.
Yeah. The thing though is I will kind of agree with like Taco that I think it could have been a little bit better because it does look like they're kind of poaching off of the Bengals jersey idea. And it kind of looks like a little bit, I mean, I still think it looks good, but it also kind of like, I see a lot of flashes of like Kansas State, you know, with their colors.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But I will say, you know, if they wanted to poach off an idea, I would have dug them poaching off the idea of like the City Connect jerseys in Major League Baseball.
Yes, I love
where
those.
There's some sort of like cultural theme to it. Like, you know, Minnesota, you've got like, I don't know, maybe there's like references to Prince on there or something like that. Something culturally synonymous with Minnesota.
That would have been sweet.
Or like the Raiders, you got fans from the black hole holding like shivs and wearing brass knuckles or something like that. You know, like I could see them kind of doing that, you know?
Oh, fuck yeah, bro. It's just so sweet.
We're not going to play the audio because we don't want to get copyrighted.
No, I got you.
These are fire. I do agree the outlining on the Viking horns.
I didn't want that thicker, but I'll take what I can get.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie.
These are fire.
I like the home jerseys that they had during the AP era better than these.
Those are my favorite jersey ever.
That is a fucking fire jersey.
Your take.
All right, so these are fire. They're drippy, drip, drip, wet, drippy, drip. There's only one. There's only one thing that I think that I would like to. Now that you guys are bringing up the outline of the horn, I agree. But there's one thing that kind of I don't like, and the only change I would make is I would make the stripe in the middle of the helmet the purple, not the silver.
Yeah,
and I think that would be dope.
But just a solid purple stripe.
Yeah, that would have been cold.
The same purple that's on the number, just have that be the stripe. I think that would also offset. I don't think the thin on the horn would look as bad if it had the stripe down the middle.
Yes,
I can agree with that. Okay, hey, look, I'm gonna say straight up, these are drippy. I love them. I do get the take of you definitely kind of swagger jack Cincinnati a little bit.
To me, what makes the Cincinnati ones, but Robbie, to me, I know me and you have talked about this. What makes the Cincinnati ones a little bit better to me,
the white Bengal tiger ass.
It's the helmet. It's the helmet. Yep, it has nothing to do with the jersey itself. Yeah. It's that white and black helmet just looks dope.
I think that's the same thing with the Vikings. The helmet is what makes it for me, if anything. You know.
Yeah, I'm liking this wave. You know, the Commanders we have our all black uniforms.
I love those.
Texans they just released their new alternate. Yeah, the Texans ones are sick.
I'm just gonna say the Texans have the best uniforms in the NFL, dude. Their unis are sweet.
I'm liking this wave of
nice.
like creativity that's happening. It is dope. Vikings, much respect, but when it comes to the white on white look, I still got to give Cincinnati first place. The helmet is just.
I agree,
yeah. Bro, how do you do another white jersey like that out for Cincinnati and it's not even as good?
I think
I like the Cincinnati ones better.
Well,
they got more fire.
The Cincinnati, I think, tacos because the helmet makes it.
Yeah, I want to see every team. You know how we did Color Rush. I want to see every team have an all black edition. I want to see every team have an all white edition.
In my opinion, the best jerseys ever were the Chargers circa LT era, the Lawrence, the LaDainian Tomlinson era. Those
the
were
navy blue or
the navy blue ones.
Like
those
were
my.
I like the powder blue better.
I like the navy blue. I like the powder blue, but the navy blue, nothing tops it in my opinion.
I think the powder blue's way better. Really quick, I do want to debunk a comment because this was debunked by the NFL. No, they are not pulling up in armored trucks for the Brazil game. This was written on the show sheet, and then I did my research. Had a couple conversations with some people. It's not. They're not pulling up to the stadium in fucking armored trucks, guys. They can still
armored buses.
Are we talking about the cartel? What are we talking about here?
Yeah. For the Brazil game, it was rumored that the players were going to be transported from the resort in armored buses to the stadium in order to play the game. And then it was also rumored that they weren't going to be able to wear green because of local gangs. Neither of these things are true.
Can't wear blue for the blood, or blue for the Crips, red for the Bloods, green for like, what the fuck?
Or for every gang in the favela.
No, so the green thing is the color of the rival team that they're hosting the stadium in, and that color is banned at that stadium for soccer games because of the fights and everything that happened. So there were rumors that the NFL was going to have to ban green because it's a stadium law, but now they're saying
everything is good.
I see.
Everything is good. I do want to get into how long before NFL starts hitting City Connection jerseys. That's not going to be long.
It's not going to happen.
I would like to see it. Some cultural.
I would love to see it, and I think that it is something that can definitely happen. I want to get into some fantasy football talk. Pretty much the rest of the show, we're going to be doing a lot of fantasy football.
Yeah.
Right now, the fantasy community is really, really buzzing about this Anthony Richardson revenge tour. I don't know if you guys have been seeing the tweets go out there. Like, you can literally just filter the name Anthony Richardson, and you see like fucking 20. You don't have to even filter. Just fucking scroll your timeline, and you see everyone just going goo goo gaga, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the fantasy football community is really buzzing about an Anthony Richardson revenge tour, and it's kind of making me wonder, should we buy into the hype or do we fade? What are you doing in upcoming drafts? I know what my habits have already tended to be, but I may adjust those. Mike, drop the
I don't know what revenge tour you're talking about, and in all honesty, seriously. I don't give a crap because guess what? Even before this day, even before I woke up this morning, give me all the freaking AR-15 in fantasy football. Give it to me, baby, and give it to me one more time.
While Brittany's playing with fucking knives on a live stream. Okay. So you're buying it. Look,
I'm all in.
It's a revenge tour because of the injury. Let's
but I'm all
Sounds
in.
like Mike's Viagra kicked in, I guess.
Holy fuck.
It's been 4.5 hours. Let me go. I'll be back.
Give it to me, baby, one more time.
Murphy. David.
She's got to be lucky, too.
Or
stronger, Hey, I'm stronger than I was yesterday. I'm stronger than I was yesterday.
Already.
That's why.
TMI. No, I'm kidding. But I will say with Anthony Richardson, I'm not as high on him as other people are. I think that as a passer, he's got a lot. He's a project as a passer, and he kind of showcased that when he was in college. And I don't know. Coming off shoulder surgery too, I'm a little bit worried it's going to delay a little bit of his ability to develop into.
He's been taking throws. He's been taking reps, and they've been good reps.
But there's a difference.
He didn't throw like 2 days ago, but.
Yeah, but I mean, there's a difference between throwing on the collegiate level and on the NFL level. And he's only got 4 games to show for thus far throughout his career. And I wasn't impressed with him as a thrower. As a runner, obviously, this dude is like, holy shit. It's like a runner, like Michael Vick, like took HGH or some shit. Like it's crazy, like how unbelievably physically gifted this guy is from a running standpoint. I don't call it a revenge tour. He didn't prove anything. It wasn't like I don't know, like who is he getting revenge on? Like who pissed him off? It was an injury that he suffered. It wasn't like someone, like prevented him physically from being in the league or anything like that. So I just don't really construe it as as a revenge tour personally. I think he's a little bit of an afterthought compared to certain other guys when it comes to even honestly a Pro Bowl vote this year. I just don't expect a ton. You know, I expect game managing stats best case scenario. From a passing
score against his own body, obviously.
Yeah.
Comeback player of the year candidate.
Yeah.
I like now that's
I'm with them on that.
I do like that, Paul. Nerd, your take.
I'm high on it. I say believe it. I was big on him when rookie drafts were coming up. I got him. That year I had a great draft. I was probably going to win the league that year. Last year,
I would have won the league if it wasn't for
I would have.
Kids.
Sorry. Here's what happened. I drafted Richardson, and then via a trade from the season before, I had the first and second overall picks. So I drafted Sam Laporta, and it panned out. Like my fantasy roster for my dynasty was absolutely nuts. And going into like the point of the season where Richardson got hurt, that's when I had to figure something out for it. So I'm big on it. I think he's going to come back full force. I think you should expect big things. I think you should expect big things from him. My only concern is what got him kind of hurt was he ran and took a lot of unnecessary hits, which running is fine. Scramble, get out of danger, that's fine. But just don't be the guy that's going to be like, I'm going to give you my shoulder and we're going to see who goes down harder. And it's like sometimes Richardson wanted to score so bad he did it all. Like he did it a lot. And I was like, gosh,
he's a mixture between Vic
don't
and
die. Just
his body type is a mixture between Vic and Newton. No, I agree with you. You know, don't go out there and get clapped. I mean, and that there was plenty of times where that was definitely the case. I mean, the shoulder proves that.
Yes.
At the same time, though, that's also what makes him great. That's what made Cam Newton
it's true.
great. That's what made Vic great. So that one's tough. That's oof. I agree with this comment. Yeah, this can't be another Andrew Luck.
I know. That was a very unfortunate situation.
Indianapolis.
Yeah, but I mean, he's got a great O-line though, unlike Luck. Yeah,
but that's true.
Luck
was like, good luck, bud.
They had fucking turnstile. They had matadors back there, basically ushering everyone to sack his ass. They did nothing for protection.
Taco, your take.
That's what she said.
My gosh.
I should have dropped that Viagra reference. Fuck me.
Man, listen. Anthony Richardson, the only reason I wouldn't be in on him is just that his ADP, it's like obnoxiously high, where you're just like, I'm not doing that for a second-year quarterback that has huge injury concerns. Other than that, it's all buy. He's bulked up a little bit. He runs. He has a good arm. They're going to feature him. Oh, yeah. Oh, no, I bought last year.
Oh, yeah.
Everything I've seen just made me say, I want Mo. Can I have some Mo? That's all I want. So, hell yeah, this is an easy one. Everybody spoke on it. We want Richardson. Everything that he shows is worth it. Now, the question is relative to other players on the board and what you're trying to build. Your first and second picks will really dictate what you can do on your third pick. So I can't sit there and say unilaterally I'm going to take him because it really depends on what I have. But more than likely, I'm pressing play on him, and I'll give you a nice little backup in the later rounds just in case because I know he's hurt.
Yep.
So I'm not leaving that a one QB draft without at least two QBs.
For me, here's how I'll break it down. I'll break it down on pretty much a case-by-case basis. For best ball, being that's the season that we're in right now. That's what we're all doing. The price is a little bit high for me, but because when we talk about big field tournaments and we talk about max entries, I will have some Richardson exposure. I don't think that in a best ball format and in a big field format that I can run Anthony Richardson naked. I need to be stacking him with somebody on that team.
I did it.
And I feel like you are going to have to reach in order to make that happen, and that's okay. I'm going to miss out on value on the next year. You're going to have to do what you're going to have to do if that's going to be your game plan. So that's best.
Yep.
Dynasty, look, you're likely either A, already bought in, or B, if you're in a startup, whatever the case may be. I have no problems with you going after Anthony Richardson. Just know that you may not get as many miles out of him long term, when we talk long term investment, as you may a traditional pocket passer. Yeah, in dynasty formats, I tend to lean towards the pocket passers a little bit more. I may have QB that gives me a little bit more rushing upside, but QB2 is definitely going to be like a pocket passer that'll last me a couple of years. I want to stay out of the quarterback carousel as much as possible if I can. Redraft, same thing, kind of like what I said in best ball. It has to be a stack up for me. That's the only way that I'm doing it. I feel like that the price is going to be too rich. Whenever they come around, I think that there's I feel like there's other quarterbacks that I would want to take a chance on than Anthony Richardson in year 2.
And he's also in a
rushing
tough
upside
division
makes me
too.
run
Like,
him-
I mean, he's against the Texans, who are an AFC contender. The Jaguars, they could be on a revenge tour. Speaking of a team, so he's not in the easiest.
We're going to talk about the Jags later.
Oh,
No,
thank God!
That was my tease.
I have questions to ask Mike.
Oh, you actually have questions for me? I thought you were
on the Jaguars.
Mike's closet team.
No, well, Taco's.
I bet on them though.
Taco bet a quarter on them and bragged about.
You remember that comeback? You remember that?
He's like,
legendary,
I just won
baby.
$6.50. No, I won $6.50. Shut the fuck up.
But hey, come on now. We delivered last week on UFC, baby. We hit both.
Yeah, we did. But hey, that was a historic live stream though, because like the chat was like, "Yeah, Taco, go!" And then we were like, "No, it's $6.50." The chat was like, "Oh, fuck you."
They thought he won $650.
And that started it all. That's what started the chat hating Taco. Like that's what it was. And then from that day forward, this man did not get the fucking green.
But Aiden, remember, we were the only ones that believed, my brother. We believed.
Shut up.
By the way, Taco, what were you reacting to in like the first part of the show? Because you were like
baseball
standing. Okay. Oh, I see. I was like, did he pop a molly for a Rumboyz After
Dark?
It was
freaking Juan Soto.
That's been the thing. People have done that.
This game is right now 0-0 in the 10th inning with Dodgers and Yankees.
I mean, you were like,
I think it was when the Commanders and the Giants were playing, and like I popped in, and just as Thibodeau was like making a sack, and then we got like the touchdown or something like that. I remember that too.
Halftime. We'll be right back. Let's get into some music videos. Taco, you suck.
My body in Miami when I'm land, I got no understanding. Out of here, I'm burning, don't turn me on, you can't understand it. In the club, posted up, they lit up, no matter where I'm standing. Drop GLD for the Cuban link, yeah, you see it there. Might spaz out on some taller shit, no on zero tolerance. Money conversations ain't hard to relate, it's hollering. See my net, they acknowledge it, good bring her when you're not.
Just stick to the plot. Hey, stick to the plot. Hey, stick to the plot. Hey, stick to the script. Sometimes you get what you get, so don't try to go and chase shit. Just stick to the plot. Hey, stick to the plot. Hey, stick to the plot. Hey, stick to the script. Sometimes you get what you get, so don't try to go and chase shit. See, life's kinda funny. You stick to the road to the riches and hope you don't crash like some dummy. To get to this money, you cut every piece of the pie to find out you sliced into an onion. Now let's change the subject. These niggas who think they got something, but actually they end up with nothing. It's getting disgusting. I'm tired of the fucking assumptions. I'm about to blow up like a Russian, so stick to the plan. When you lose it, gotta get it again. Keep it moving, never stick in the sand. Even with tired, like Michelin Man, shit, I know I'm the man, so I don't give a damn about opinions. I'm racking up millions, you stacking up pennies. She throwing it back in the back of the venue. Now we taking off in her man and his feelings. Now back to the business, back to the lab with my niggas. Actually back doing laps in the trenches. It's my second home, I ain't have to go visit. I stay resident, embedded to living the life of a nigga. By day we just niggas, at night we the victim. The life of go get 'em, so I'ma go get it. I stick to my plan and I stay on my mission to plot. Hey, stick to the plot. Hey, stick to the plot. Hey, stick to the script. Sometimes you get what you get, so don't try to go and chase shit. Just stick to the plot. Hey, stick to the plot. Hey, stick to the plot. Hey, stick to the script. Sometimes you get what you get, so don't try to go and chase shit. So this is my message. Sometimes you just living in life, be an actor. Don't try to direct it. Now let's change directions. It's like that we live full of lessons. Don't count chickens, start counting blessings before they go missing. I promise you, I'm on a mission. I want something, I'ma go get it. No hidden intentions. I open my eyes, saw my vision. Now everyone see that I'm gifted. I'm rapping like Christmas. You niggas just under a tree. I'm smoking it, not metaphorically. I'm smoking no tree. No one's smoking on me. So when I say you're under it, no, that means me. I'm a poet MC and I'm living my dream. Hoping that hopefully you see the hope in me. And if you don't fuck it, cause I'm all I need. Keep my ear to the game and my mind to the streets. I'm a beast. Stick to the plan. Stick to the number one mission at hand. Stay true to yourself and give your life meaning. And fuck their opinions, they won't understand. To get to the top, gotta give all you got. Only getting one shot, so give up or not until your heart stops. Gotta stick to the plot. Hey, stick to the plot. Hey, stick to the plot. Hey, stick to the script. Sometimes you get what you get, so don't try to go and chase shit. Just stick to the plot. Hey, stick to the plot. Hey, stick to the plot. Hey, stick to the script. Sometimes you get what you get, so don't try to go and chase shit. Just stick to the
And we are back live here on the Rumboyz Fantasy Network. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe on YouTube and Twitch. Yo, look, we both rocking the GLD. I got the Dodgers joint. My man got the Vikings one. You know,
There you go.
come over to the GLD. Greatly appreciate.
I actually love it. I got it in the mail today. I ordered it like 2 weeks ago.
And you love it. It looks good on you. It looks damn good on you, bro.
Thanks,
And I just want to say to Taco that I personally love you, Taco. I hope none of us are putting you
love
through
you
therapy.
too, Dave.
Okay, I really hope so.
You know what? The Bears are going to have a great year this year.
Thank you. That's what I need to hear. 'Cause usually you shit on my team. Usually you shit on my team.
Yo,
Well, you actually might be good this year.
I love that.
Thank
Eric,
you.
like the
Appreciate
season
that.
dislike were fundamentally already there when it came to Taco. Like I love that. Like right before the break. Let's get back into tonight's show. Shop GLD. You already know what it be, man. Hit me up if you need a link. If you're trying to, look, it's hot outside. Cool your neck off a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Both Brandon Ayuk and CeeDee Lamb are continuing to hold out of mandatory minicamp, which may not be a big deal for some, but they both are in contract negotiations with their respective teams. Many are wondering if Ayuk is worth Amon-Ra, St. Brown type of like money.
No.
And then some are also wondering, hey, Dallas, you got to pay CD, Dak, and Parsons. How is this all going to play out? Put on your GM caps. I want to know how you guys will work through these. Mike.
Which Mike?
Drop the mic. The one that's putting on his hat right now.
All right, I'm stepping up to the podium.
What do you got for us, Big Sexy?
All right, so there's going to be
questions.
some bull. Since I am the GM, and there's some big news that I'm going to bring up. I'm going bold takes here. There's going to be some boldness coming out of my mouth right now, and I don't care because CD Lamb is
coming out of my mouth.
CD Lamb is getting paid because they don't have to worry about paying one person because Dak Prescott ain't going to be on the team in 2025.
You think so? Okay.
That's my bold take.
Okay.
Ayuk, on the other hand, will also not be on the San Francisco 49ers. He's going to get his payday. It's going to be on a different team because they need Deebo Samuel more than they need Brandon Ayuk play style-wise. But Ayuk is going to get a deal. But for anyone that thinks Brandon Ayuk deserves the same or more money than the Sun God, needs to go listen to more Britney Spears, and you are toxic.
Whoa, GM, you can't say that to the press.
Britney
Any
Spears
further questions?
Eyes on a live
To
stream.
the next guy.
Already. There you go.
Yo, the amount of unnecessary Britney jokes that have been coming out today. I'm sorry.
That's Brittany, bitch.
It's pretty bitch.
Holy fuck. Dropping the toxic reference. I feel like a fucking grandpa. I feel like I'm senile hearing that.
Hey, everyone that's watching on Twitter, really quick. Yo, we got like
Hit me maybe one more time.
we got
Oh,
86
God.
I
plus.
already used that one.
So, we got 86 plus watching.
I just
over
have Vietnam
Twitter.
flashbacks
Ooh.
watching that music video, you know?
One second. One second.
Exactly.
Hold on. Simmer down now.
Huh?
Simmer down. Really quick. For everyone that's watching us on Twitter, we got like 86 plus watching us on Twitter. Retweet
Ooh, nice.
retweet the stream. We're the number one fantasy football content that is live right now, according to my feed on Twitter. Retweet the show. But if you're also watching on Twitter, check us out on YouTube. Subscribe to YouTube. Give us a follow on Twitch. Like, yo, look, your views on Twitter are not fucking paying us. I'm just gonna keep it real. I'm gonna keep it real. All right. David, go ahead with your take.
Yeah, I think Ayuk is a good receiver. I do think he is. And remember now, when we take into account these contract extensions, now sometimes, like I said, and I hate name dropping his fucking con artist ass multiple times in the show, but Jay Cutler was paid like the highest paid quarterback in the league at one point, which is, we know you got to be fucking on some other shit to think that's rational, you know? But I will say,
Frog.
I love David. He's so honest about his team, just like me.
Yeah, Seriously, trust me. We're all suffering together. The thing with Brandon Ayuk, though, if he does get paid like a hefty amount, it's because he's leapfrog. It's a classic case of leapfrog. Everyone's leapfrogging someone else,
Yeah.
It's gonna change, and like by next year or like in a fucking month when the next contract happens, So we have to put that into context. But Brandon Ayuk deserves to stay with the 49ers. And in fact, because Deebo Samuel's been suffering through the injuries that he's suffered through, and we haven't seen him on the field, Brandon Ayuk is their number one wide receiver right now. Now, I'm not saying he's better than Deebo, but he is the guy who's accounting for the most production as of lately because of Deebo Samuel's absence when it comes to what he does in the receiving game. Now obviously Deebo's a gadget guy, and you see him in the rushing, in the rushing attack and all that stuff. But Brandon Ayuk, don't get his value twisted. He's awesome. Okay. I don't think he should be paid Amon-Ra money. Amon-Ra has been an absolute technician when it comes to route running. And he's certainly not on CeeDee Lamb's level, who I would say CeeDee is an elite wide receiver in the NFL.
Yeah.
But if he does get paid that much, if he does get paid to where he's, ultimately making more than Amon-Ra, I don't see it happening too, because they have so many contracts to have to worry about with Brock Purdy and all that stuff. But I wouldn't be that shocked because I know they want to try to showcase some value. But it's obviously it's kind of a bit of a cat and mouse game between Brandon Ayuk and the 49ers about who blinks first, who fucking caves in first when it comes to the contract negotiations, because he's talked about maybe wanting to go to the Steelers and playing for Mike Tomlin and stuff, or at least the rumors are swirling around about that. I don't know what's going to ultimately happen. I could see them trying to keep the band together, though,
We'll touch on the Miami thing in a minute. At least we have that written into the show sheet. But I mean, even Waddle money is crazy, and I don't even think that Waddle maybe even possibly should have garnered what he did, especially when we get into what we're going to talk about next.
I might be the biggest Waddle fan, so I will give my opinion then.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a huge Waddle fan. I'm a huge Waddle fan. But I look at it kind of similar. Nerd, your take on this situation? Rachel, let's say.
I like Brandon Ayuk. I think that he deserves to be on the team. I think they do have to find a way to get him a good deal for his value on the team. I'm on the opposite spectrum. I think that because of Deebo's use and how fast he is, and like just how athletic, like just the ability to get open the way he does is always crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I do view Deebo as the number one over Ayuk, but Ayuk is his value is just it's so out of this world for that team still. Like you can't let him walk. You got to find a deal. I don't know.
You got Ricky Pearsall and you have
that's
Jacob
true.
Kelly.
That's true. I mean, I think if you can't get to an agreement with him, when you get to the part of the season where you can trade, maybe you like get him to a different team with like a different competitor. I don't know. I feel like that option becomes on the table if they can't come to an agreement on something. That's kind of where I'm at with Ayuk, but I hope they find something because he's been nothing but great for that team. I think that'd be really a slap in the face to him if they can't figure something out. But it's not Amon-Ra St. Brown money. I mean, that's kind of where I'm at with it. I mean, even the Lions being in the North, like the Lions fans pounding their chest about Amon-Ra making Justin Jefferson's contract more expensive. I just like they're both great players, but I mean, I think obviously Jefferson is better, but Amon-Ra is an amazing talent and amazing to that team. I just don't think Ayuk is at that level of Amon-Ra St. Brown. I wouldn't pay him that level of the contract.
And what's crazy is that's what the Ayuk camp, at least what I've heard recently, is what they're wanting. They're wanting Amon-Ra type money, and it just doesn't seem sensible.
It's not going to happen.
I think he's going to get like Cooper Kupp money. I could see that happening, because he's like, I think Cooper's like 7th or 8th. Yeah, he's 7th on wide receiver salaries right now.
I think that's very like fair for him
from a leapfrogging standpoint. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Going into CeeDee Lamb, you got to pay him.
Yeah. 100%.
And then I've been saying this also for the last 2 years that when it comes to this time for Dak, I don't think he stays with the team after next year. I don't think there's an extension coming. I don't see it happening. I think that there's been enough times where the Cowboys have shown these moments of these guys are fucking legit, you know, and then there's like the next week where you're like, what the hell? And I think we've seen it. I think we've seen it enough times where it's like, I'm just gonna say it. Dak is Kirk Cousins for the Dallas Cowboys. He's not gonna get you to the promised land like everyone puts the hype on him. It's not gonna happen. It's not. And then you find a way to sign Micah Parsons, and then you get your next quarterback and you establish him and you give him a safety net and CD Lamb, kind of like what the Vikings are doing. I really believe that this formula could work.
I like that you bring that up because I think that we start seeing more and more teams do what Minnesota has done, where it's okay, we're going to build around a skill position, you know, so to speak.
Right.
Because teams are kind of in a way being forced to do that and get ready for quarterback turnover. And I think that Dallas is one of those locations where they need to prepare themselves for quarterback turnover, not necessarily this year, but the year following.
Yes.
It was brought up in the chat, you know, go get Ewers. You still pretty much get the fucking same team that you got, et cetera, et cetera. I wouldn't mind that for Dallas.
And the other thing about Dallas.
Wow.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, go ahead.
Are you kidding?
The funny thing about Dallas is that it's a tale as old as time. Jerry Jones does not like handing out money. So when now you have three players at the same time, like all being owed money, and he's just like, I got you $1, and they're like, no, and then Jerry's like, well, hold on,
I think that Dak does have chemistry with CD,
and then Jerry's like, well, give me a week, give me 10 minutes. I'm gonna run to McDonald's to get my breakfast, and then maybe we can talk about like contract negotiations in a little bit. Like he's just like, I gotta sit and think on this, and with my cup of coffee, you know, it's like, dude, like you gotta shell some money out to someone.
I feel like that's like Jerry Jones' like negotiation tactic is like how you get 20 million a year. He slides, but he slides like $1 like at a time over to like get his point across. Just like, is this good enough? You know, it's like, no, I need like 15 million more than that.
Paco, okay. let's get your take. How do you feel about this one?
Listen, on another team, Ayuk will get his money. Yeah. On another team, Ayuk would put up those numbers like Amon St. Brown. But on this team, he won't have the opportunity to put up those kind of numbers to justify paying him that much money. At the end of the day, as much as the 49ers want to keep that whole group together, they're not going to be able to, because if I'm Ayuk, I hold the fuck out. Yeah, you want to tag me? Tag me. You know what? Because at the end of the day, people are desperate for wide receivers. And when you see his talent and when you see his ability, you go say, hey, Buffalo Bills. Hey, Buffalo Bills.
Could you imagine?
You ain't got to trade nothing. I'm going to be a free agent. Come sign me. Come sign me. And you know what Josh Allen's going to say? Yeah, we need a wide receiver. We just let go of Diggs. Guess what? This is a leverage play. This is all leverage. He knows the market. He knows what people need. He knows his skill set. Pay me my money. Stop screwing me. And guess what? This is a business decision. And they have to decide they can't afford it. Because realistically, like Mike said, you have enough cheaper talent that you've drafted and you can develop in order to fill that hole. But at the end of the day, This is why they have a salary cap. This is why football is so enjoyable. This is why when you compare them to the Vikings, it's gonna be the light version, baby.
Can you be my agent?
I like what you said there. You know, for San Fran's standpoint, I'm gonna let you get into Dallas here. You know, but I like what you said in regards to San Fran.
Listen, and if I'm Dallas, I'm paying both CD Lamb and I'm paying Dak. You know why? Because that is the brand of your team right now. And until you find another quarterback, and Jerry Jones being that old, and he knows how much life he has left in his life, you make sure you keep Dak. You make sure you keep CD, because I think that Dak is not that bad. He's not that. He has not shown up in the clutch.
I disagree in regards to Dallas. If I'm Dallas, I'm paying CD and Parsons. And I'm
Parsons for sure.
Yeah.
This is in regards to that Dallas offense. We've seen this enough times. Last year was probably the best version of that offense that we were going to get at this juncture. If I'm Jerry, I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm not going to pay Dak this year, but I am going to pay CD and Parsons, and then you part ways with Dak. You know, after this season, you kind of treated the same way that you did the Tony Romo situation almost.
That's not that bad, especially considering that you have one of the guys from the Steelers next year who's probably going to be available as a free agent.
You know what he's going to have? Well, don't forget, Trey Lance is still on the team, too.
Yeah, that's actually not that bad.
Trey Lance is still back there. Now Dallas, they're kind of utilizing Trey Lance as a way.
Jerry Jones is going to have to admit to all his fans if he does re-sign Dak Prescott.
I'm an idiot.
And he fucked up when he made those decisions early on in negotiations with the.
There's a couple of different things he's going to have to admit.
Oops, I did it again.
Yup.
Hit me, baby, one more time.
2.0. You won't win a Super Bowl and spend millions to lose a play. And I've always said that is.
But remember, he makes millions of dollars. He makes sure that team is watchable. He makes sure people buy clothes. They make sure that they get the.
Not gonna matter. Their Dallas is not going to matter. This team is watchable.
You don't want a sucky team.
This team was watchable. Was watchable and one of the most high rated watched teams. When they had fucking.
If they start sucking, you don't. It's not the same.
I don't know. I see like the whole Dak narrative of him not being able to win a Super Bowl a bit of an untrue cliche, because if Jimmy Garoppolo can get within one fucking drive of winning a Super Bowl with the 49ers, we can't say Dak can.
At the end of the day, Dallas is Dallas. At the end of the day, Dallas is Dallas.
But it's not just him who's fucking shit in the bed in the playoffs, you know?
It's not just him, but Dallas is Dallas, and he doesn't do enough.
My quarrel with Dak not getting paid is that too often have we seen him have that, like we said earlier.
No, Dak is going to get paid. He's going to get paid elsewhere.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, the reason it won't be in Dallas is because we've seen it enough times where there's like a huge glimmer of hope, like especially in the playoffs, and then all of a sudden.
I think if you're Dallas, you've seen enough. I think if you're
right,
Dallas,
you've seen enough because you've seen enough of the game-winning interception to the other team, and you're like, come on, man, like. You played so well leading up to this moment, and it's every season. It happens all the time.
The thing with Dak too is like that he determines if he wants to stay in Dallas, because he said, quote unquote, I don't play for the money, and the Cowboys want to keep him, but just for like a little bit less than what maybe the rumors are swirling around about what he's looking for. You know,
but I think that's also Dak knowing that this is where he's going to be able to control his career and control his narrative the most.
Dallas.
I think that Dak knows that if he were to go anywhere else and he's not able to get it done anywhere else, that there's going to be an indictment out on him and a reason for that fan base to push for another quarterback. Whereas as long as he's with Dallas, he's the knight in shining armor, no matter what, win, lose, or draw.
Yeah.
You know, so that's where Dak kind of has a little bit of leverage. And plus, Jerry is like this. We saw this with Romo already. Romo got opportunity after opportunity after. It's like, bro, move the fuck on. When are you going to finally move on? The only reason why they moved on is because back then that we were playing 4 preseason games. Come week 3, Dak was killing it so fucking crazy that it was like,
he was an MVP candidate. You know,
exactly. It's like okay, well, we got to make a decision here. Let's go ahead and roll with this 4th rounder out of Mississippi State. You know, he's clearly going to be ready, and he's ready to do the job. You know, his rookie year. You know, and he was able to outshine Romo.
He's had a better career, I would say, by the way, than Romo.
He has had a better career. He has. You know, but to that point, I think that if I'm Dallas, I'm moving forward. On the 49ers side of things with Ayuk, it's not worth it. You have draft picks that can go out there and get the job done. You have an offense and an offensive coordinator to where it doesn't really matter the pieces that you fucking have, right? Ricky Pearsall can make a lot of the grabs that Ayuk was making. So I don't see the justification in needing to have him there and needing that to be a thing.
Even with the fact that he's gotten better over the last 2 years, each year, you know?
No, I mean, absolutely. But I mean, sometimes you just got to cut bait and go. Okay. You know, and San Fran's a team because of their coaching style that gets a luxury to be able to do that. They can move top talent around as long as they still have a good core of that top talent.
Yeah.
I mean, and then hell, like, I mean, Cowing can go out there and, you know, take a couple of snaps, you know, here and there. They're exactly, you know, they're solid. It's not the end of the world for them if they don't keep IU. If you do keep IU, then it is Super Bowl or bust. You need to go to the promised land with what you have right now, because if you even sniff this close to the success that you did last year underneath Purdy, that's your fucking guy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I think there'll still be some questions about Purdy this year. If he does it again, there's no questions.
Yeah, you got to pay him. You got to keep
exactly, and paying IU puts you in a fucked up position. You know, so I'd much rather than move on past IU. They'll keep going, doing what they're doing. I think they're in a great spot. I don't think that their Super Bowl window is closed by any fucking means by losing Ayuk.
By the way, I just looked at their 2025 salary cap space. They're 37 million in the fucking hole. The 49ers are right now.
Yeah.
God damn. Good luck.
Say bye.
Oh my. Okay, there are way too many early 2000s, late 90s pop fucking references.
This show is for all the old people, for damn sure. Keeping our GM caps on really quick, and then in terms of fantasy, I'd rather Lamb right now with the holdout. From wide receivers to quarterbacks, Dolphins quarterback Tua Tagovailoa and Jaguars quarterback Trevor Lawrence have contract extensions looming. Do these deals get done in a next man up type of scenario, kind of what we talked about a little bit just ago, or do we see equitable bills done for what these QBs are actually worth? Like, are we seeing Mahomes money being given to either of these two, or are we seeing more along the lines of like Daniel Jones money? Taco.
Daniel Jones money I'm still uncomfortable with. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Acting like Daniel Jones money is like some bargain basement shit.
That's a low end. That's a low end. That's a low end.
I wouldn't pay any of these with Daniel Jones. I wouldn't pay Daniel Jones what Daniel Jones is getting paid. So
let me ask you this. Would you pay either one more than Daniel Jones?
No.
I would pay.
They're not worth it.
There's one of them that I would.
Tua,
$40 million for Tua?
But the salary
cap
every
year. No. I'm not talking the money. I'm just talking. Do either one deserve more money than Daniel Jones? I don't care if Daniel got $1 million or $40 million. Do either one of these deserve more than Daniel?
That's a different conversation. At $40 million, neither one of them deserve it. Should they be paid more than Daniel Jones? Yes. They're better players than Daniel Jones, but neither one should be paid $40 million. Is that the best way I could say it?
That makes sense.
I ain't paying either one of these people $40 million. Fuck you. I'll go get me Mac Jones, macaroni and cheese. Come on down. Take a year behind Trevor Lawrence.
Guess what?
Next year we'll there. Macaroni and cheese.
You know he's already there, right?
Yeah.
That's exactly why I said it.
I want to make sure he knew.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when I set it up, I do it perfectly. You know what I mean? Like, fuck you, Trevor. We already got your backup in house. Make sure you train him good. Show them how the water works right. You know what I mean? Like, you got, and you know you're Jacksonville, so you're not attracting anyone. So yeah, Mac Jones, you're another good-looking white guy. You'll be able to come over here, sell some jersey, get some people hot. It'll be Minshew Mania all over again, but with Alabama people coming over.
He said, "Yo, Tua lost so much weight." Bro went from Tua Tagovailoa to Timu Tagovailoa.
Bro, and Mr. One hit away from his career being over, $40 million a year. Like, get the fuck out. Get Justin Fields. I'll try again with Justin Fields. Like,
I mean, Tua slimmed down.
I'm not like Tua. I will tag you. I'll tag you, Tua. Bam, tag you.
Yeah, Jeff says T-Law gets paid. Tua gets a short deal.
T-Law gets paid to be average. Like, he's so
last year was a huge
he's so mid.
Leafs. Let me debunk this comment. So there was actually like this study done on Tua where like they attached shit to his fucking body last year and all this other shit, and they found that it didn't matter if he was at the lesser weight or the weight that he had gained last year to prevent the injuries, to prevent the concussions and such. What they found was that it was just necessarily the way that he was sliding. That is a report that has recently came out. How much investment into that science I want to put into? Oh no, I feel like I would maybe want my quarterback to be a little bit more beefed up. But so yeah, there's that. There's that whole thing with the Tua. The team seems more excited that he lost weight, and they're all in on this study. I'm not a doctor. They fucking know more than me. Bird, how do you feel?
I'm at a point with both these players. I don't think I really move forward with them. I mean, maybe T-Law gets one more year. I give him a short deal to be like, hey, this is like your make it or break a deal with the team. Like, you either come to fruition of what you were supposed to be, and if you don't, then we move on. That's kind of where I'm at with Sunshine. But with Tua, he fascinates me. He is a amazing quarterback. Like, so fun to watch. When I get the opportunity to watch Dolphins games because of that offense, I'm watching it. Like, I find a second screen, I pull up my laptop. I'm not a Dolphins fan, but they are a fun offense to watch. Mm-hmm. My concern is it's more for Tua's personal safety in the game versus anything over else. Is that having played a lot of sports, when you get concussions over and over and over, it doesn't stop. You keep getting them. It doesn't matter if you're bigger. I don't think it matters if you lose weight. Like, I think that might actually be worse. I'm not a doctor, like Robbie said, so I mean, I don't know. But this guy's gonna like rattle his brain too many times before it's too late. And I just, as a team, as an organization, no, I'm not doing anything to like work out a major contract extension, because your job is to stay healthy and win games. And Tua he just constantly has concussions. He's constantly missing games every season. And it's sporadic. Like, he'll play 4 weeks and then he's out 2, and then he plays another 3 weeks and he's out another 3. It's like, this happens all the time. And it's like, as a team or an organization, can I justify paying someone who is a great talent that can't stay healthy, like, from the same thing over and over again? And also on the same aspect of looking out for this player's health. Like, he even said himself, he said, I consider retiring from the league after so many concussions already. It's like, I don't think it's worth the money to go forward with this guy as time goes on, because as great as he is, it's just the ability to like actually stay healthy and also look out for his own like mental health in his head. I as a team, I'm not paying him. I'm not doing it.
David.
Well, the thing is with Tua, this last year was the first time he played an entire season without succumbing to injury. He even played into the playoffs.
True.
So you can look at it on the flip side as maybe him getting over the hump, which I believe that there is something along the lines of that kind of existing in NFL careers, where guys can get over that hump of having to succumb to injury after injury after injury and finally get healthy for the foreseeable future from there on out. You know, you think of someone like a Thomas Davis who had torn his ACL. Like, I think he's a prime example of someone who tore his ACL 3 times. And then all of a sudden, all pro year after all pro year, where he's staying healthy with the Carolina Panthers, you know?
Yeah.
Would that be Tua, you know? I don't really get why he had to lose weight. The only thing I would understand, again, I'm not a doctor, you know, I'd be a fucking malpractice suit walking if I were, you know, in an operating room anytime soon.
Damn.
But so you don't want me in there, you know. So I will say though, losing weight doesn't make all that much sense to me unless he's trying to become more mobile. You know, that's the only way. If he's trying to get faster with his wheels, which he never really was a mobile quarterback. You know, when he was at Alabama, he could flash a little bit, but not too much. You know.
Well, that is the premise. Apparently, from what I know, is that it is with the intent of him being more mobile on his feet.
That worries me too, considering his injury history, because a lot of the injured quarterbacks are the ones who incorporate mobility into their game. You know, that you'll see a significant amount of it, especially considering the fact that a lot of quarterbacks, because they are so, you know, like they're put on a pedestal and they're cherished and you can't touch them without getting a flag and all that shit. They're not used to the physicality like a wide receiver, or running back, or a lineman experience, you know? So I don't see why you would want to throw him out there when he's had such a significant injury history to have that mobility. I would say scrap that and let him focus as a pocket passer if you see him as the quarterback of your future, which I would say you pick one way. You know, if you want to go the safe route and you're genuinely concerned about his well-being as a person, okay, put your foot down on that. I get that. But if you believe he can stay healthy and that he overcame a hump and that he can be the guy that, has figured out a way to protect himself and subsequently thrive in this league, then go after him in that regard. But I don't see how you can justify him losing weight and then throwing mobility into his game when that is a significant reason of why quarterbacks are getting injured. Is when they're incorporating their mobility. So I do not understand about this equation.
You also have to look at whose offense it is. This offense is predicated and based off of speed per McDaniels.
Yeah.
So that's why that is there. And I think that there also was a will for Tua to want to go back down in weight, anyways. So it's interesting how that one is going to work. And then let's get your take on Trevor Lawrence. Let's get into Mike.
Yeah, Trevor Lawrence, this is a do or die season, I think, for him potentially. Like if they don't make the playoffs and he has another 20 to 10 TD to interception ratio, or TD to interception season, like this could be a wrap though. So I'm a little bit feeling a little worrisome about the Jaguars considering last year and how much I was hyping them up as an AFC contender. They've really got the most pressure, I think, out of any team. But yeah, I don't know. It'll be interesting. I think you'd be patient with Trevor Lawrence. Give Tua the deal if you believe in him. He's not an elite quarterback, but give him top 10 money. Give him more money than Daniel Jones, I guess, if you're going, market wise to leapfrog him, because he's obviously definitely a better fucking quarterback than Daniel Jones.
Same doctor qualifications as Johnny Sins. My gosh,
isn't that a porn star? Or
fuck, David? Yes.
Okay.
Let's get it again.
Drop the mic.
All right. So there has been, I'm not saying way too much talk about him, but there's been enough said about Tua. I don't need to say much. The only thing I will add to Tua is I don't think he's gonna get paid as much as he thinks he's going to. I think the thing with Tua is he's good, but other quarterbacks can do the same thing. What I'm saying is this offense isn't the high-powered offense. Other people can come in and run this high-powered offense. Even though I believe that the same thing could be said for Jacksonville, Taco and Robbie both know where I'm going with this one. He is going to get paid. He's going to get paid big. I agree with David. He's going to get paid in the top 10. I'm not saying he's going to be top 1, 2, or 3. But here's the thing. Even though, and I'll go back to Tua real quick. Comparative, just I'm going to compare one thing. To me, okay, I don't know if anyone, I know some people that will listen to this do, but I'll bring it up and Robbie's going to laugh at me when I bring this up. Pro wrestling. Yes, I'm bringing up pro wrestling. Hear me out. AEW is owned by the son of the Jacksonville Jaguars owner. He is also part of the leadership. The reason I'm bringing that up is he is a smart businessman. To me, Trevor Lawrence means more to the business side of the Jacksonville Jaguars than Tua does. You got to watch.
Is going for T-Law.
Oh, keep going.
A lot of people are going there for T-Law. They don't have many people going. So the people that are going for T-Law. They have, for God's sakes, Taco, they have to agree to have one of their games played at Tottenham because they don't have enough people coming to their other games.
So what the fuck am I paying him?
He's going to get paid hands
based
down.
off business continuity. You're
it's
saying
all about the business. I'm saying it's about the business part. He's going to get paid. They're going to pay Sunshine. Then after that, ETN will get his money. I think Josh Allen, after his contract is up this year or in 2 years, I think he is out of Jacksonville.
Yep, I see that because that's what Jacksonville does.
And that'll be his third contract, so that's why I think he'll be gone.
So I'll start on the Trevor Lawrence side. I may be different than you, Mike.
No, I think you are going to be different than me.
I'm giving Trevor Lawrence. First off, I'm extending both quarterbacks. Let me just first fucking preference that. I'm extending both. I am giving Trevor Lawrence just a little bit more than Daniel Jones, not in like that 40 million area that Taco was talking about, but a little bit more just because of the whole concept of next man up, et cetera, et cetera. I can't justify giving you a Mahomes-like deal. So that's why I'm not going that direction for Trevor specifically. I do think that Jacksonville is best suited sticking with Trevor from a business continuity standpoint, like Mike was saying. That's where I'm honoring we can make something happen around a Daniel Jones number, around a 35, 34 million type of talk. Now with Tua, this is probably the best damn quarterback that I have had as an organization, as a franchise, when we talk about the Miami Dolphins since Dan Marino. I can't just simply let you walk out the door.
Yeah.
Even if our fate is the same as those Marino teams. You get to the promised land and you come up short. I would much rather that type of scenario than it was brought up. Do you let Tua walk and move up for Sanders if you're the Dolphins? I don't think that you do that. I don't think that you can do that. I don't think that you can afford to do that. I don't think you can afford to put your fans through that. I don't think you can afford to put your season ticket holders through that. I look at season ticket holders like stockholders almost. You don't want to put your stockholders through that. So if I'm the Dolphins, I am in a position to where I have to make something happen with Tua, and I do have to maybe pay him, maybe not Mahomes-esque type of money, but I need to get close. I need to make sure that this guy is comfortable. I need to make sure that he knows that he's here. He's a part of the future. I need to let him know that he's a part of the future even past Tyreek Hill. And if I'm the Dolphins, yeah, I'm probably paying Tua, and we're saying, Tyreek, we're giving you this season. And after this one, it is what it is. And I'm building a team around Waddle, Malik Washington, figuring out things at running back. I'm now trying to figure out those other things as things move forward, as the team progresses and moves forward in its future. At some point, teams have to move on past talent, no matter how damn good the talent is.
After your take, I need to say something.
What's up?
Have you guys noticed that Taco's been quiet?
He has been
Watching the game.
No, it's because Dodgers won. Dodgers 1-2-1, baby. Let's go!
Oh, are you avoiding the question that I posed to you, sir?
Which one?
In the chat.
I'm not looking at the chat.
He said,
so pull it up on screen, Robbie. Thank you.
Shut up.
I wanted to ask you, Robbie, actually, do you see any plausibility in if Tua were to be gone, do you see any plausibility that Tua could be traded from the Dolphins, because of the health?
I could see that as a possible. Like, all right, so just to answer directly, no, they don't do that this year.
Okay.
They could maybe do that next year, but that's only happening in the effect that, and we're not preaching this into existence, but if something were to happen, then I think that that's where that becomes leverage. I think that for what I'm hearing, and I'm glad that I put this because I've actually been pretty close to this story recently. From what I'm hearing is between the weight loss and everything that they feel like they're in a very good place, and that a deal, unlike what we're hearing with Lawrence, Lamb, Ayuk, players that we talk about during this episode, extensively, it's seeming like a deal is for sure going to get done with Tua. It sounded like we're not going to like the number because of the injury history. but they're gonna pay him like he is Josh Allen, like he is Mahomes, like they're gonna pay him pretty much damn near top dollar is what I'm hearing. As far as what you said, Taco, is T-Law QB1 this season? Who the fuck else?
I say no. Hard no.
I have him right outside the top 12 this year.
I don't have a top.
Wait,
Why did you write that
are
in the
saying-
chat? Like he's right above you. You could ask him.
Wait. Are you asking is he QB1 overall?
Like a top 12, like QB1 in fantasy football.
QB1.
Yeah, but in fantasy, no, T-Law is not going to be a QB1. He'll
I have to.
He'll be a solid like in super flex.
He's
If
my
T-Law's
number
sitting
2.
there, yeah, if T-Law's sitting there on the board,
I'll be honest with you.
and I've already grabbed Brian Thomas, I'm probably gonna grab T-Law, or I've already grabbed a Christian Kirk or whatever. I'm gonna grab T-Law. I'm not running T-Law naked.
When I see look at the because I was just looking at like the rankings of the quarterbacks this year, man, there is so much fucking talent at quarterback. Yeah, especially I think when I talk to and even in 2 QB leagues, because I pulled this in a couple of leagues where you can sometimes not take a quarterback with your first pick and get an elite. Like that is kind of
there's
a beautiful segue into the next topic.
Well, what we call that is either A, variance, or B, parity. There's parity at the position.
Well, what I think is it's supply and demand. The supply of solid quarterbacks is good enough where that demand that first pick doesn't make sense to me, where I'm like a round later I'll get a solid guy and then I'll get another guy a little bit later that I could start.
No, it all depends on game theory and such. That'll be an episode of Goal Line Goons that we'll get into that, because we are going to start getting back into giving you guys a whole lot more content. So definitely be on the lookout for that. And that show will be coming back to both networks, actually. Let's get into the final topic of the night. More fantasy football relation here. Really quick to the last topic. I'm probably seeing myself going more Tua than T-Law in fantasy. Just like how I said earlier, I'm seeing myself going more CD than Ayuk in fantasy. It's just a nature of whatever we talk about right now. Atlanta Falcons running back Bijan Robinson recently alluded in a press conference that the offense will flow through the backfield, and this caused Twitter to absolutely fucking go bananas. All right. My timeline, I shit you not, fellas, my timeline for like a good hour and a half, 2 hours was everyone retweeting the exact same press conference. And I'm not complaining, because I was a part of the problem as well, because I retweeted it like one of the first ones. Are you reaching for Bijan? Could this maybe potentially be the LaDainian Tomlinson season that we've been waiting for from a running back in terms of fantasy production? We start with you, Taco.
All right, so I'm just gonna take a sip of this because this is just like me sipping that Bijan Kool-Aid. It's so good, it's so tasty. I'm gonna take this all the way up to the second pick. I would take him over every fucking other player in this goddamn league other than CMC this year in fantasy football. You tell me that? Oh yeah, Bijan Robinson is probably the second pick in fantasy football after you tell me that shit. You tell me you're gonna actually utilize that gifted Adonis on the football field? You're telling me you're gonna give them passing opportunities? He's gonna get 1 point per catch, and now he might get up to like 60, 70 catches. You're going to try to use him like CMC, and he has that same burst, power, speed, vision, agility. Get the fuck out of here. He's the second pick in the league, and the only reason why you're not taking him over CMC is because they built that offense around CMC. Yeah. CMC is the next closest thing we have to LT, okay? And we're going to ride him until he eventually says, guys, I'm retiring, okay? And that's number one. And number two is Bijan Robinson, by and far, clear and none. Breece Hall, fuck out of here, bro. You're nice, but you are not going to be able to keep up with what this man is going to do this season if they use him the way they're going to say they're going to use him. Now, coach speak is a hell of a thing because you know what? Tyler Algier showed up last year and fucking ruined a lot of things in week 1. I was talking about it. Is he really just going to fuck shit up and keep Bijan from being historic? And he did. And now the coronation comes. All hail the second coming. It is Bijan Robinson season.
Okay. Nerd.
I'll believe it when I see it. That I mean, if he's there and I have opportunity to get him, and some other guys are off the board already, then yeah. But I mean, there's other guys I got targets on before Bijan Robinson because we've heard this before, and then obviously it was a different situation last year. And Arthur Smith just never used him. Never used him.
Right.
But I'm not gonna buy into it yet. That's kind of where I'm at. I'm not drinking that Kool-Aid. It's not for me. He's a great running back, and if you have a chance to get him somewhere in the early rounds, sure. But I'm not flying off the seat of my pants to go get Bijan Robinson right now, especially with the tandem. I don't know. I feel like we've seen a lot of false promises, and before I even do anything, I would rather try to work an in-season trade to get Bijan if he starts going and offer something fair to get him versus risking it on the draft pick to get him.
I like what you said is that if he's there, you'll do it. Because I've been finding that that's what the situation and what the scenario is currently in the market is. It's either what Taco said, you're reaching and you're trying to go and get him because you're going to have to, or either B, if the draft spot just so happens to be that sweet spot for you, then you go ahead and you press the draft button. I think that's kind of the way that we look at this. David.
I don't know if I can match Taco's coked out on Wall Street energy that he brought.
He did seem a little yayed out there for a second.
But I do echo a lot of what he says about the hype with Bijan. He is a fucking special running back. I do believe that he's going to be a valuable part of this offense. I don't think this is going to be such a crazy year that a lot of the offense comes down to him, quite like a Derrick Henry level, vintage Derrick Henry that is. And I think Derrick Henry, even he's someone I think could be vying for, who's that guy after CMC or who's the guy rivaling CMC? There's 4 backs I think could rival probably CMC this upcoming year. Bijan being one of them, Derrick Henry. And I think, honestly, this is going to sound a little crazy. Jonathan Taylor coming back healthy. I think he could do something, right? Call me crazy, but I do love Bijan. I think he's awesome. I think he's multifaceted. This is going to be because I think Raheem Morris is a smart enough coach to learn from the errors that drawing a blank on his name. I guess it was because he was so shitty I can't remember his name, but the previous head coach for the Falcons, what's his name? Arthur Smith. Yeah. So he probably learned from the errors of his way. So he's going to utilize Bijan a lot this season. I don't think it's going to be a crazy historic.
He's gone.
He's not there. Yeah, he's gone.
No, I know. He learned from Arthur Smith's ways.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah, maybe I misspoke or something like that, but that's what I meant to say. I don't think we'll see LT 2006 level production, but I could see having CMC level production from last year. I could see that happening just because of what he does outside, inside. He's a complete back. You can use him. He's half power, half speed. You can rush him anywhere on the line in any scheme, zone blocking, gap blocking scheme. It doesn't really fucking matter. And he's got the best O-line in all of football, arguably. Maybe. It's they're certainly one of the top 2. Whether they get what they have with Chris Lindstrom and Caleb McGarry, Jake Matthews. Chris Lindstrom is the best guard in all of football. If he's running behind his big ass, he's set to go. I fully believe he's set to go. So I am all on the Bijan hype train. I get it. Even with Tyler Gier taking a little bit of a little chunk of some of the production share because he's a quality back too, I still am riding on Bijan pretty high as well. So I get the hype with him.
Mike.
To paraphrase a late 90s, early 20s pop star.
What the fuck?
What a boy needs is a little bit of Bijan Robinson, baby.
He's that genie in a bottle.
I'm not. Oh yeah, genie in a bottle on top. And hey, and guess what? When he's right,
Do you want it that way?
Hey, and when he's got 100 yards in Atlanta, he's gonna be dirty, doing the dirty bird. Okay, to get back to the topic at hand here. Yes, I believe in Bijan. I already believed in Bijan. I do understand the concern that Avenged Nerd has, but I do believe he's going to be the number 2 or number 3 running back this season. I actually agree with Taco that he has a chance to be right behind. I mean, I'm not going to say CMC is not going to be number 1 because that's what I believe, but I actually believe I agree with David. I think JT could have a bounce back.
Yeah.
Another one that you can throw in there that could have a bounce back. I mean, changing teams and everything. I mean, Barkley could end up as a top 5 running back again.
Absolutely, number 3.
I mean, you never know.
But watch yourself.
But when it comes to Atlanta, I do think that they're going to use Bijan. I think this is going to be a good year for him, and that's all. And all I'm going to say besides that, before I throw my take over there, is bye, bye, bye.
Oh my gosh, that was the pastiest NSYNC rendition I've ever seen, and that's a pasty group.
Let's get him some peaches and cream, you know.
Here's my whole thing in regards to Bijan. I am going to buy shares if the landing spot in that first round,
if I had the second pick,
is there for me. No, and I'm not. No. And I'm not saying that I wouldn't make that move boldly with the second pick. I'm sure, in a best ball situation,
All right, since everyone can I remix it for you, Robbie? Then who would you draft over Bijan?
I was gonna get there. Sorry. Let me do my thing.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sit back. Simmer down now. Simmer down. But no. So like I was pretty sure there would be a scenario in like a best ball where if I'm sitting at the 102 right now, I don't have any Bijan exposure, so like I would easily just go and get in, maybe just to diversify the portfolio. I could see myself doing that or justifying that. In redraft, it would be a move that I would probably in single QB redraft, it would definitely be a move that I would make. In terms of players to answer Taco's question, players I would draft over and pretty much damn near any wide receiver in that range, Justin Jefferson, etc. Just because I know what the ROI for the most part is going to be there, and I can also get production. Running back is one of those things when we talk about the mathematics of it and we get into the game theory of the position. Running backs aren't drastically outscoring to where I need it. I don't need to reach for Bijan, but if Bijan falls to me at the right ADP, I'll do it. If Lamb, Jefferson, I'm trying to think of other players that
I feel like Lamb is probably the only one you could have in that conversation because of the.
Okay, even though I think Bijan is going to be the number 2 or 3 running back, I agree with Robbie in this. I'm taking Lamb. I'll take ARSB over.
And that's exactly.
I don't know.
I'm on going above. So like when we look at ADP right now, and I know that I'm always a person that preaches that ADP doesn't matter, which is kind of goes into Taco's sake. We're okay, I could see myself in the right scenario going for that.
What about Tyreek Hill?
Well, and if you're going by the ADP, you might not have to reach.
I'm taking Tyreek above Bijan. There was someone that did that, and that was fucking hilarious. That was done on Sleeper 3 days ago. That's fucking hilarious. Reed. Only thing that I can say about that is Reed. We all know I've known how to read since kindergarten. Fucking read, please.
Like that one year, someone took Matt Barkley instead of Saquon Barkley.
Saquon, yeah.
I'd like to get a drug
Dog.
test on that pick, please. I'd like a drug test on that pick.
Like for real, like
dyslexia.
Reed. No, like Reed. I hate when shit like that happens because it's like, well, no, like I can't reverse your pick. You didn't know how to fucking read instructions, bro. It's like it's to me when shit like that happens, that's like putting your name at the top of the test.
Yeah.
You know
What is
like,
that, SAT?
right? Like you know, like it's easy, it's easy points. You know, like it's an easy grade. Fucking put your name at the top of the test. That's all I'm gonna call that technique. In regards to that, but with Bijan, it's got to be a right time, right place, right draft. You know, right pick. If I'm reaching for him, it's going to depend on the rest of the draft room in that first round. I think there's other receivers. I don't think data shows that there's other receivers that you can go and get where you don't have to go and make that. And I think to I think it was either Mike or David's point, one of you guys at the top, that said we don't know what this offense is going to be yet. Being that we don't know, I don't know if I need to spend that value, especially when I'm talking about competing for a couple of $1 billion. Yes. Live draft in Denver. It's going down SFB. I think it's the 9th. I'll double check that. Other than that, anything that anybody else has.
When you, Robbie, when you just kind of like popped a thought into my head when you were talking about like we don't know what this offense is going to be. Like one thing can be said, and then the other thing can be done, and once the season starts. And I completely agree with that because obviously with the Kirk Cousins acquisition, it's one of those things where.
We saw Dalvin be profitable in the Cousins offense.
Yeah, exactly.
We've seen this work before. So
we've seen it work. It could be great. But then there is moments in Cousins' career where it's like
with the running game, I don't worry about that. I think that Cousins helps Bijan even more.
Right. I was just gonna say it's like the 3 and outs and how long you can stay on the field and how that's gonna
I worry about
ability to score.
Is the play calling.
I'll be honest. I just think that
Jeff said it. Jeff said it in the chat.
Bijan is just supremely talented with a great body, a great burst. Like Dave was saying, he has a great offensive line behind him. Yeah. Like he has everything set up for what you want. Now, I think me standing on this point further, I'd have to analyze what their playoff schedule looks like. Because if he has a juicy playoff schedule, there is full on steam on the Bijan Robinson hype train, and I will conduct this shit.
I say that you draft Bijan for purposes. I don't think that right now, while we're speaking in June, that you
absolutely.
In June, I don't think that you overinvest. As the conversation develops around the offense and develops around the player himself, Bijan, then I think that we begin to start. I
will say this though. The number 2 to 5 pick is going to be a little bit dicey. I'm loving back half of drafts because you're doubling down on 2 elite players. So it's going to be dicey, I think, for the early guys if you don't get CMC.
Yeah, it's gonna be. Well, I don't know because I've been doing a lot of drafting. So I mean, yeah.
I just want to
very.
I was going to clarify real quick. I think I might have misspoke, but when I said that I didn't know if Bijan could channel like the Derrick Henry LT level of execution, I just meant from a rushing standpoint, not necessarily from a complete fantasy standpoint.
No, I mean even still, I still agree with that take. I still agree with that take.
Okay.
Either way. Other than that, I'm going to plan for Monday that we're back on air for you guys. I'm going to try and start going back. The goal is to go back to being like 6 days on air. So I'm going to be having different shows on different days, different co-hosts, shit like that. Because football season is around the corner, and we just want to be ahead of the game. And honestly, this is all that I fucking have to do now. So yeah, there's that.
It's like I got nothing else.
The fucking brutal honesty, right?
Damn.
It's a level of brutal honesty.
Other than that, to evolve like Goku and shit.
Other than that, everyone point to your name tags. Make sure to give all of us a follow on social media. We greatly appreciate that. Follow your favorite analyst, follow your favorite cast member. Be sure to DM us if you have any fantasy football or betting questions. I'm Rumboyz Robbie. That's Mike. That's David. That's Nerd. That's down there.
Yeah.
Cheers to me. Cheers to you. All the Rumboys and girls. What it do? Dilly dilly. We out here.
Dilly dilly, y'all.